Yesterday's file ended with 2 open blanks, crew. I told you the strait opens when Washington pays a price Tehran had not finished naming, and that the deal was waiting on a sign-off from someone nobody names. That was Friday. On Saturday, Tehran filled in both blanks, and I want you to see the clock on this, because the whiplash is the report. Saturday morning, the foreign minister's team was, by Bloomberg's account, closing in on temporary shipping lanes. Saturday evening, Iran's Supreme National Security Council published the actual price of reopening the Strait of Hormuz. The price is not a fee schedule. The price is everything. Here is the list, published through Iran's state broadcaster by the Council's Secretary, Mohammad Bagher Zolghadr, who is also a commander in the Revolutionary Guard. Hold that dual title, it matters. The conditions for reopening the strait, per the statement, the United States must never threaten Iran again. It must permanently end the conflict with Iran and with Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Houthis. Lift the naval blockade. Withdraw American forces from the region. Pay full compensation for damage from the 2025 and 2026 wars. Lift every sanction, and release all of Iran's frozen assets unconditionally. 7 conditions, and the statement's own summary phrase quoted exactly, the strait will not open until the United States corrects its behavior. 2 details turn that list from posturing into intelligence. First, the Times of Israel notes these are the same demands Iran previously attached to a permanent peace accord, one that was supposed to settle the nuclear file too. Now the identical list is the price merely to reopen a waterway. The demand did not soften with the deal getting closer. It inflated. Second, the read from Barak Ravid, Channel 12's Washington correspondent. These are demands that, his words, clearly the U.S. cannot accept, and he flags where that points, back toward the military option the American president shelved only days ago. And the signer? Bloomberg reports any deal requires approval from Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei and reports no indication he has given it. Yesterday's sign-off from someone nobody names now has a name, and the name is silent. Now the file on the deal that almost was, because PBS got the inside account from 4 regional officials and a senior American one. Midweek, the framework was real. An inbound lane nearer Iran's coast, an outbound lane nearer Oman's, no tolls, the strait demined, a 60-day clock restarted. Then, in the reporting's own phrase, members of the Revolutionary Guard came in over the top, demanding clear promises. Lift the blockade, lift sanctions, let Iran sell oil in dollars, and, note this one, add tolls to the passage that the framework had made free. Ali Vaez of the International Crisis Group said the quiet part. The Revolutionary Guards is in charge and is calling the shots. Which is exactly what yesterday's file flagged when the Guard spokesman claimed the reopening had its own specific mechanism. The mechanism has now priced itself. The water, same Saturday. And this is the incident from yesterday's file with the record now filled in, not a new attack. The ADNOC vessel in the strait, the UAE Foreign Ministry says it was hit by a missile and describes the strike as piracy. ADNOC itself says the vessel was targeted, and Bloomberg reports no injuries and a situation under control. Hit versus targeted entered side by side because the 2 statements do not yet agree, and this desk does not blend them. What is beyond dispute is the arc. By ADNOC's own Friday statement, 15 of its vessels had been attacked since this war began, 3 that week alone, with 1 crew member killed and 20 wounded. Saturday's makes 16, by simple arithmetic. And the region answered in a chorus. The Gulf Cooperation Council's Secretary General, Jassim Mohammed al-Budawiwi, called it a dangerous and unacceptable escalation, with Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Jordan condemning alongside. Fair shake, and the clock that is still running. On Tuesday, boarding Air Force One, the American president said of a deal, it could happen tomorrow or the next day. A lot of progress has been made. That optimism was not fabricated. Reuters reports, via Bloomberg, that Washington stands ready to lift the naval blockade the moment an Iran-Oman arrangement is announced. And the foreign minister himself, Saturday, in full. The opening of the strait is subject to other conditions, including the compensation for the U.S.'s violations of the Islamabad Agreement, the June memorandum, now lapsed, that each side accuses the other of breaking. So both capitals are still at the table. But mark the tell that PBS drew from analysts on opposite sides of the argument. Both agree Iran is playing for time and believes time is on its side. Brent settled above $83, a 3rd straight weekly loss. The market is pricing the optimism. The council just priced the strait. After action, and yesterday's thesis, now with the blanks filled. A deal on temporary lanes may still sign any day, and Washington may lift the blockade the hour it does. File this before that headline. By the foreign minister's own words and the council's own list, None of that opens the strait. The full reopening is priced at the end of the American position in the region, payable in advance, approved by a Supreme Leader who has not spoken. Until one of those facts changes, every very close you hear is describing the lanes, not the water. The beneficiary of the gap is whoever profits while the world prices hope into an $83 barrel. The toll is still being paid at sea. 16 ships, 1 dead merchant sailor, 20 wounded, by the shipper's own count. Watch the list, not the lanes. When the price comes down, you will hear it from the council, not the communique. That is the file. I'm Mark, and this is Pixel Politics.